Testing, testing, testing. Oh boy, I hope everything goes smoothly tonight. Um, you always dread any kind of technical difficulties that could take place. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Bobo. It is Monday, and your boy is back. Hope you guys are having a fantastic start to your week. We got sports on tonight. Shout out to the NBA Finals. Shout out to the College World Series. Shout out to MLB. If you fancy any of those things, let me know what you think. Who's going to win? Because, yeah, I got some ideas as well. Daniel, what's going on? Curtis, I see y'all right there. Shout out to you for being up in here. Man, do I got some things to share with you. I wish I could have been here on Friday and also last Wednesday. It's seeming like Monday is going to be my day, but maybe moving forward, I will be able to do my Wednesday and Fridays after all. We'll just have to wait and see. I've titled this Bobo accordingly. Change is coming down the pipe. I don't know if it's pike. Probably pike. I think that's a fish. But regardless, change is a-coming, and I don't really know what to make of all of that. We're going to dive into that in this Bobo. But first, let me start with a little banter. Shout out to each and every one of y'all taking the time to rock with me on this thing. It may look like up to no good up in here by the end of this because it is quite warm and I've had to turn the AC off, so I might be sweating. Hopefully I can keep it together for this thing. But like I said, I got a lot of things I want to share with you guys, and it feels good to be back. So thank you for taking the time. All right, let's go ahead and dive deep up into this. So first thing I want to start with is, kind of where we left off last Monday. Last Monday, I was sharing a story with you guys about a lock at a particular property that got absolutely manhandled by a maintenance man, and I was going to have to pay for that the next day, one way or another. I was going to have to deal with that situation. And folks, I haven't shared what happened that following day when I went to that property. What happened? Would you believe me if I told you that the lock on that door, or the lack thereof lock on that door, was not even the worst that I would walk into that following day? The lock was certainly something to be dealt with. And ironically enough, they did not make me pay for it. I was like, whoa, we ducked that one. But I was willing and ready to pay for it because it was my mistake. I told that maintenance man the wrong unit, but they should have checked. So there's all of that. But anyways, that wouldn't even be the worst that I would walk into that following day. The following day, the main maintenance dude would be back there. And man, he was not happy about that lock, first and foremost. Do you know that they was attempting to fix the door? Folks, I need to go ahead and pull the pictures up for those of you who may not remember. Let me go ahead and see if I can pull this up real quick. Okay, go ahead and enlarge. There we go right there. Folks, they was attempting to try to fix the door. That's right, folks. All of that broken door just completely destroyed. They thought somehow they was going to be able to fix that. I think they are still attempting to try to fix it. What you can't really see from this picture is that part of the lock is still stuck inside of the door right here. Like there's still this little ring inside of the door that cannot come out unless you destroy that door even more. And that's why this thing is peeled back so much. They were trying to get this whole thing up out of here, which they could not get. And folks, they were attempting to try to fix this door. A little bit of caulk, a little bit of paint. Bada boom, bada bing, you got you a brand new door right there. I don't necessarily know how that came out. I won't be back at that property for a while. But when I do go back, I will make sure that I go check out how that thing turned out. I guarantee they'll probably have a brand new door up there. But like I said, that wasn't even the worst that I would walk into when I got there. And what, in fact, the worst would be was more mistakes. This time it wasn't made by me. I guess in retrospect, it was made by me, but not necessarily made by me. Made by my painters. You see, at this particular property, we're not doing color changes anymore, which we had been doing color changes for the longest time. We're painting yellow walls gray when we do these color changes, but now they're not doing color changes. They're just painting yellow walls yellow. And I told the painters that I had there that particular day, the day that the lock got destroyed, I said, listen, make sure that you drop everything in here. Put drop cloths down on everything because this yellow paint is super unforgiving. It's fucking yellow paint, for God's sakes. It's like traffic paint. Okay, so if it gets on anything, you're going to be able to see it. It's not like painting gray walls when you've got gray carpet. You know, if a little bit of overspray or some paint dust gets down there a little bit, you're not really going to be able to see it. But yellow on gray carpet, you're definitely going to be able to see it. So I gave them the fair warning to make sure that they dropped everything. I come in the next day, and what did they do? Oh, they didn't drop anything. There was yellow paint all over this gray carpet, and boy, I was freaking out. I was like, oh, shit, I already got to deal with this door and this lock. Now I got to deal with this carpet, and I am snapping. I left these dudes more than enough adequate drop cloths to be able to handle this situation, and man, I was snapping. I ended up going and I've got a emergency steam cleaner, an emergency carpet cleaner that I keep at the storage unit. It's just a small one. I went and got that, and I was steam cleaning these carpets, talking about why in the hell am I doing this? This should have never even taken place. I told you the yellow paint. It's going to show all up on these gray carpets, and sure as shit it did, and I'm steam cleaning these carpets, and I'm getting the paint up to a certain degree, but not all the way, right? By the end of it, I'm thinking to myself, well, fuck, now I've got to pay for a door and a lock, and I've also got to pay for this carpet. So I see the maintenance guy, and he's still pretty pissed off about the lock. He hasn't really brought any smoke my way in relation to it. But I tell him, I'm like, hey, man, I need you to come check out this carpet. I said, we fucked this carpet up. I said, so I either got to pay to have it cleaned or I got to pay to replace it. He came and checked out the carpet. He said, hey, look, it's not even that bad. It's probably going to come up when they clean it. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, right. And I've yet to hear back in relation to that. I'm sure that I probably will, but I haven't yet. Maybe I was making a mountain out of a molehill, but I'm trying to tell y'all I wish I would have took pictures of it, but I didn't even want no evidence of it. I was just trying to get it cleaned up. And fucking yellow paint on gray carpet. Yeah. Interestingly enough, they wouldn't be the only painters that would do that. These are newer painters of mine as well, or they were newer painters of mine. They're no longer with me. I'll get to that. And I didn't fire them as much as I wanted to that particular day. But they weren't the only ones to do that. I had one of my most experienced painters do the same damn thing. Now, he didn't get nearly as much yellow paint on the gray carpet, but he still got enough of it on there to where I'm sitting here scrubbing this carpet as well. And I'm thinking to myself, why did I start this apartment painting business? I have no idea. But anyways, here we are. Up, and here goes the little bead of sweat. Man, that was a big old bead of sweat right there. Yeah, so shout out to everybody up in here. All right, so anyways, like I had mentioned, change is coming down the pipe. I want to go ahead and get right up into this because this is something that I have filmed about, and I've done absolutely nothing with the videos, whether it's been here on After Prison Show. That's right, I've been filming videos for After Prison Show. More on that. Or over on Joe Does Stuff. Now, if you rock with me on both channels, you'll notice my absentee ballot from Joe Does Stuff. It has not been for a lack of filming. Matter of fact, I filmed and edited and uploaded and just been sitting on videos like, damn, do I really go with this? Because if I go with this, that makes it real. And what I'm talking about right there is the topic of discussion for this Bobo. And that is change is coming down the pipe. Folks, it's crazy that my painting business was doing so well. I guess previous to last week. And in fact, it would be the end of last week when I would actually realize, while going through my little scheduling book and also living out these days, that, oh shit, things are kind of slowing down for us right now. And they really shouldn't be, because we're at the busiest point of the year. You know, I think to myself, if I had all 14 properties that at one point I kind of did, man, we would be slammed right now, like 10 units a day type of work. But slowly over the course of time, whether it be because of paint on carpets or fucking telling a maintenance man to open the wrong damn door, or being too expensive, trying to pride ourselves on top-notch quality work when really, who are we any better than? Slowly over the course of time, we have lost properties, work, and it almost feels like, and it's been feeling like lately, we've been losing more work than we've been getting. Now, here's the conundrum that I'm in right now. Last week, we had plenty of work up until Thursday. Then Thursday, we only had like 2 units to paint. And then Friday, I didn't have any work. And then I'm like, okay, well, let me look at next week. And I'm looking at next week, which is this week right here. And we ain't got nothing for real. I mean, we got a couple of units spread out sporadically, but we really don't have a lot of work. And I think to myself, I'm like, okay, one of two. And then the following week, we do have work, but it is kind of sporadic as well, too. So I kind of think to myself, one of two things. And how did I word this? Because I got some notes on this Bobo. So I think of this one of 2 ways. Actually, one of 3 ways. Business is either just slow right now. The business is possibly failing right now. That's the second way. And the third way is, well, the business is slowly failing. And I think all 3 of those could really have some high implications and likelihoods. Now, I mentioned I've been filming for Joe Does Stuff, and I even filmed for AfterPrisonShow. Well, the videos that I was filming for Joe Does Stuff were so freaking monotonous. It was me riding around in the van, bitching about a lock, or bitching about, work being slow, or whatever. And then I start to look at this in hindsight, and I'm like, damn, man, what did I do? I was filming videos for AfterPrisonShow. I created Joe Does Stuff. We were flipping houses during that time. Flipping houses, making videos all the while for Joe Does Stuff. I created Joe Does Stuff because people in AfterPrisonShow didn't want to watch the flipping. But then I stopped doing the flips, and I started the painting business, and I was filming about that, and that was having an adverse effect to a certain degree. Fired a guy that turned into a shit show. Had a bunch of apartments get wind of the videos I was doing, so I was really feeling like I couldn't film. And I look at all of these things in hindsight, and I'm like, man, this painting business legitimately kind of like sucked the life up out of me. It certainly sucked my will to create videos up out of me. The whole Joe Does Stuff, Joe ain't doing shit but riding around in a van bitching about things. So like I said, I've been filming things, but I don't want to share it because it's just that. And that's not what I want to do. Business is slow right now. Business is failing right now. Business may be, in fact, slowly failing right now. No real way to gauge that until, time continues to play out. But at the same time, damn, I miss having fun. I miss doing my magnet fishing, going out on the kayaks, and doing things that I was doing when I was doing stuff. And that's one part to this whole puzzle. Now, like I say, the business is slow right this second. That's a good thing because it is allowing me to refocus video-wise. Like, realize, hey, I miss doing this. Yeah, it's great I'm doing the Bobo again. Thank God I'm doing the Bobo again so I can share with you guys where I'm really going with all of this. So in terms of AfterPrisonShow, I had been filming some videos. You may remember last week's Bobo, I had the green screen up here. Well, I've since snatched that green screen down because I wasn't really liking none of that neither. I'm sitting here doing these prison role play ASMR type video, and I'm like, what am I doing? I wasn't really feeling that all that much. I got a couple of those that I filmed, and I haven't done anything with those. And maybe, who knows, maybe I do eventually. But like I said, I've got this downtime. I started thinking about things again, and I said, you know what? I want to get back to doing content for both channels. But I don't know necessarily that it's going to be here in the shed where I'm going to figure it out, especially for After Prison Show. So long story short, what I'm going with all of this is I'm going to start featuring people's stories again. And not just like I'm telling you I'm going to start doing that. I've actually already begun that. And I don't know exactly when I'm going to start sharing that. It could be as soon as tomorrow because I've already been working with like 2.5 people. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to go find some stories that I feel and deem are interesting enough to share with you guys. I think about all the times in the past when I did that, and yes, I know I'll be the first to admit there's been plenty of times when it went wrong. But maybe I can learn from that. And if it goes wrong again, who cares, right? Who cares? We can try to not let it go wrong. All the while, try to get some really interesting stuff in the process. And folks, it's me mentioning that I want to share with you some of what I've already found. Now, I only came to this realization, and Susan, shout out to you for that. You didn't have to do that, but thank you very much. I want to share with you a little bit of what I've already found. I've got one really good story. However, the guy's not very good on video just yet, but he's got the potential to be very good. And he's got an interesting story somewhat. His prison story is really not all that interesting. He did 10 years for a robbery charge, run-of-the-mill type of shit right there. However, since being released from prison, and he's only been home for a year now, just did 10 years. Already began working with this guy last week, as a matter of fact, Friday. On my first down day, I'm right back out there filming videos. So I meet up with this guy. I hear his story. He's very well-spoken. He's going to do well in front of the camera so long as he gets comfortable in front of the camera. And then I also get back into my groove of being able to bring you that type of content. But anyways, dude did 10 years for a robbery charge. He's been home for a year. In that time that he's been home, he's a certified welder who actually got a job, so to speak, like a part-time job at least, at a local community college where he's actually a welding instructor now. And now he's teaching this welding course to other guys who are coming home from prison. I find that, I'll be honest, I only find that somewhat interesting. I didn't find that to be over the moon interesting. I found it to be interesting enough to where I was like, okay, there's something to this. Here's a real positive situation right here, a guy who's doing good. But as I begin working with this guy on the very first day, he's telling me, he's like, yeah, so I do the welding instructing thing. He's like, my wife, she got a furniture store. And I'm like, okay. So we're trying to find somewhere to be able to film at because we can't film in my shed. It's just not practical. I'm sweating bullets out here right now doing this Bobo. And what did I say? I'm looking at some of these comments. Larry Lawton came after Prison Show. Oh, Larry Lawton. I can't ever pronounce his last name, but yeah, he came after me. The dude was telling me, he was like, my wife's got a furniture store. We're looking for somewhere to film. I was like, hey, why don't we go to the furniture store and check that out? So we go to this place, and folks, I can't even believe it when we get up in here. We're not just talking about some little furniture store. This man's wife has a 16,000 square foot storefront. And I mean, it's a furniture store. It's got some very exotic furniture pieces in it. You'll see that eventually because I've got video of it. And it's not even all like packed full of furniture. It's got quite a bit of open space, and I'm reading the sign on the front of this place. You know, it says furniture store, rental stuff. You can rent stuff for parties. It's got event space in there, and then it says multimedia, something, right? Like a multimedia place. And I'm like, holy shit. This could be somewhere where we could do some serious filming at, right? And I'm pitching him this idea. I'm like, dude, we could do a podcast up in here. Like, you could host podcast up in here. Like, you could shoot music. This place is massive. Ironically enough, the dude's got a pretty interesting story. Like I said, he got locked up, did 10 years for a robbery charge. And if he could tell this story about what happened on the night of the robbery, out there robbing dope boys, and then everything that ensued when he got caught, like if he could tell this, my God, it's good. It's really good. And then coming home, being a welding instructor, and his wife owns a furniture store, which on the weekends, he works in the furniture store selling furniture. He's all dressed up. So he's walking me around trying to sell me furniture. I'm filming that. It was super interesting. I think that guy is going to be a big hit on After Prison Show. That's one story that I got for y'all right there. James says that's a lot of square feet. The place is freaking massive. JB says hydrate. I need to turn this AC on. It is blazing. Oh, God. I really hope I didn't just dox the shit out of myself. And forgive me if this thing sounds loud in the background. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear that AC, because it is smoking in this little shed. So yeah, that's one story that I've got right there of 2.5. The second story, I just got an opportunity to begin working with this woman today. And women in the past on After Prison Show have not fared very well. Their stories have definitely not gained the type of traction that the likes of like a Danny or a Dave or a Banky or a June, like, for whatever reason, like, I think of Shannon's story. Shannon's story never did nothing in relation to all those other stories. So I've always been very, oh, good, I didn't dox myself, thank God. I've always been very apprehensive of sharing the stories of females on After Prison Show. But anyways, I ran across one that I just got an opportunity to work with today. I filmed this video. This video is definitely going to be probably the first one that I share with y'all. And this one is great. Folks, in the past on the Bobo, I was sharing with you that Facebook page that was about the prison pen pals. Hey, are you talking to such and such in such and such state? Basically, there's these prison pen pal pages that are just completely geared toward trying to find out if a person's loved one who is incarcerated is talking to other women. And it's mostly women looking to find out about their man who's locked up. Very few men looking for their female pen pal trying to find out if she's talking to somebody. But I share that with you because this woman's story is interesting for the fact that she goes full on admitting that while she was in prison, the only thing that she did was hustle and con men. Folks, she was the ultimate con woman. And she had so many pen pals, so many did you send that? And she shares the full story exclusively with us here on After Prison Show. Folks, that's going to be coming very soon. I just got the opportunity to film that today. It is so raw and gritty, kind of, that I've had to blur out her face and give her an alias because she's worried that she could catch and obtaining money under false pretenses charge. Now, there's so much more to this woman's story. I keep wanting to say young lady but she's not. She's definitely not a young lady. That's why I keep stumbling right there. Wacko, thank you for letting me know. Yeah, this woman goes full gusto sharing about playing dudes while in prison. And it's guaranteed to trigger a lot of people. It's guaranteed to definitely spark some debate. And I share her story not for any type of positive aspect whatsoever. There's nothing positive about her story. And in fact, her current situation, well, there's not really a whole lot of positive to that neither. And it's not like I'm going to begin working with this woman. It's just a story to share. And you'll see when I do share it that I really just don't. Well, I don't really care. I just call it what it is. I'm like, yep, this chick, you're getting what you got. Karma's a mother, and you spent your entire life just conning people. There'll be more on that story upcoming. So that's the second person that I started working with since coming to this realization that I'm just going to start working with people again. Now, the third is really, I call this a half of a person because I'm not really sure where I'm going with this one just yet. But I run across this man who served 20 years in prison. Now, I have not begun to work with this guy. I don't even know how I would, if I could, or if I should. But he's definitely got some bad charges. He's willing to talk about that. When you think, like, what kind of bad charges, he's got the worst of the worst. He's got forcible adomity. I don't know if I can even say that word. Like, forcible, he's got the forcible lobotomy, if you get my drift. If you can read between the lines there what I'm trying to say. I think he said he's got like 2 of those, times 2. Now, when you hear that charge, Tristan says, pre-recorded, if not great quality for a live stream. Yeah, I'm hardwired into my internet, and I got a Sony a7 IV as a webcam right here. So, yeah, it should be pretty good quality. The dude's got a forcible lobotomy charge times 2. He served 20 years for this. And he's willing to talk about this candidly. Now, of course, when he tells me what his charge is, I want to hang the phone up, but I can't, right? Because he's just talking about this. And I'm like, oh, my God, can you imagine if I put this story out there? What the comment section would be like? Joe's interviewing Chomos. It's happened in the past. There was a guy that had a statutory charge. And, hey, I'm just here to bring you the stories. That's all I'm here to do. But anyways, this guy goes into detail, sharing with me allegedly how he caught this charge. I'll share with you. You be the judge and jury. He's a homosexual fella, and there's nothing wrong with that. I am interested to hear what his prison experience was like. 20 years. Probably was like a kid in a candy shop. I just gotta call the kettle black, right? I don't know. But anyways, he said, he tells me, he's like, look, I'm gay. He was like, in 20 years ago, me and this guy, we were fooling around. And I'm like, hey, what are we doing here? Okay? But he's telling me the story. He's like, 20 years ago, me and this guy, we were fooling around. He was like, and I didn't know that he was getting high. He was getting high in my house or something. He says he went to sleep. I don't know if they, I don't know if, he just said he went to sleep. He went upstairs. He went to sleep. He came downstairs in the morning, and the dude was dead. He had overdosed in the man's house, allegedly. This is the story that's being told to me. And I'm like, okay. He says that he got scared. He said he woke up, he got scared. Dude's dead in his on his floor downstairs. He woke up, came downstairs, dude's dead on the floor. He freaked out. And something about he moved the body outside. He moved the body outside in some kind of a way. He caught two forcible, two forcible joints. It's not really adding up. Oh, shit. You woke up, you saw the man, and see, this is what I want to play the devil's advocate, right? I want to just go into this and say, I don't fucking believe that. I think you went downstairs, you saw the man was dead, and you said, finally, I can have my way with this guy. Then you moved him outside. I don't necessarily know. So like I said, that's 2.5 stories right there. I've had a couple of other people, reach out to me, and, a lot of times when it comes to sharing stories, I don't even make it past an initial phone call with a guy. If a guy is not, and I hate to say this, if a guy can't talk well, there's no way in hell he's going to do well in front of the camera. There's just no way that that's going to be the case. Now, ironically, the forcible abdominal guy, he kind of talks high. Oh, man. I'm reading these comments right now, and Maya says 2 plus 2 equals 5. Jessica says forcible entry is bad. Here's the other thing, too. This is another thing that really screwed me up with this particular guy with that charge. I said, dude, you did 20 years for a doocy ball for 2 of them charges? I said, man, I know your time had to be messed up. He said, no, it wasn't. He said because he never told anybody what he was locked up for. Now, I don't buy that. You're doing 20 years. Somewhere along the lines, somebody's going to find out what you're in there for. Somebody's going to want to see some paperwork. If you can't provide no paperwork, you're going to be on one of them specialty rec yards. What did he tell? Oh, he was telling me that I said, well, I know your time had to be screwed up, probably pretty tough given those type of charges. He was like, no, it wasn't. He was like, I just told people that somebody died. Somebody died, and that's what I'm serving time for. Derek, what's going on with you, man? Shout out to you for being up in here. Matt, you hit it right. Yep, if we were playing Wheel of Fortune, you would have got it right there. You would have got it right there. So anyways, I got a couple of stories up in the Bammer that I'm working on. The first story that I shared with you, the guy with the wife with the furniture store, I'm really, really trying to put that story together in a awesome way. I've already put together a little snippet video of it. It's like a little 1-minute clip. It's pretty good. It almost comes on like one of those Maury Povich scenes where they're like, I'm not the father. Like when they're doing all the close-ups in the people's faces and it's all the behind the scenes or outside of the studio type of footage. It kind of gives you that kind of a feel to a certain degree. But I truly think that there's something with the first guy. With the woman today, there's absolutely nothing with that. There'll be more on that after I share that video with y'all because of the fact that her identity is hidden and she's been given an alias name. I can talk about her in any type of way that I want and call it for what I truly feel like it is. So I definitely do that with that particular video. And then with the third person, I don't think that one's ever going to materialize. It's just too graphic. I think that there's certain things that are just too far. Tattoo Steven says, Joe talks about stuff. You better bet it. That's what we're doing right here. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. Hey, I want to kind of pat myself on the back a little bit. My business is slow or failing. You be the judge. I I've gotten back to doing video work, and I'm going to hit the ground running super hard with that. And also, a little pat on the back here. Day number 3 of Joe being back on the fasting, 16 hours a day, and also running. Do you know, Saturday morning was the first morning. I just woke up and I said, you know what? Forget this. This painting business has not only sucked the life out of me, destroyed my will to create content, but it also destroyed my physical. Last year, this time, I was in the greatest shape of my life, fasting 16 hours a day, running 3 miles a day, and working out every single day damn near. And then I gave that up for what? To go huff paint all day long? I think not. So anyways, I got back on it. I'll share with you real quick. Saturday morning was the first morning that I just said, you know what? I'm going to start fasting again, and I'm going to start running. So I went and I ran a mile on Saturday morning, 14 minutes, I think is what my mile was. Maybe even like 14 and a half minutes. It was terrible. My second morning, which was yesterday, that would be Sunday, I ran a mile in 13 and a half minutes. Freaking 40, you know what I mean? What do you want from? I'm 40 years old. Today, 6 o'clock in the morning, right before the day was about to begin. I ran a mile in, what did I say, 13 and a half? What did I run that mile in? I think it was like 12 minutes. Sorry, I was reading a comment about the box truck. I've been trying to get rid of that damn thing. And then I think to myself, well, what if I get rid of it and I want to get back to doing storage auctions? 12 minutes and 22 seconds was my mile today. So every day over the course of the last 3 days, I've knocked off a minute from my mile. Now, mind you, my best mile is only like 11 minutes. So there's only so much more I'm going to be able to knock off. But it's crazy that I've jumped right back into it. The fasting, 16 hours a day. Doing that, like that's nothing, even though that's whooping my ass. And then the running. Now, I haven't gotten back into my working out just yet, but that's going to be coming. Al C, shout out to you right there. I appreciate that. Loving the Bobo. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you to everybody being up in here. We got 422 up in here. Aid says you should do a video on prisons in Bosnia and Zenica. They're bragging how good the food is, and they're let free on weekends to return on Monday. Aid, are you trying to tell me that they got prison YouTube channels in Bosnia now? And Zeneca? Isn't that a television company? Oh, shit. They're bragging about how good the food is, and they're let free on the weekends to return on Monday? I'd be bragging, too. Looking at these damn prisons over here in the U.S. and other countries. U.S. prisons like a third world country where they run their prisons. Damn right I'd be bragging, too. Greg says, get a personal trainer. Man, yeah. I'm going to get back right. I'm my own personal trainer, and I've done pretty well with that in the past. But I am happy to be back on this grind. I have to be back on this grind, especially given the state of my business right now. And it's crazy because it's like, could I salvage what's going on with the painting business as it slowly feels like it's declining? And I'm like, yeah, sure, I could go out there and I could get more apartments to paint. But I don't want to paint apartments no more. I don't want to quit this business, but I definitely don't want to be doing apartment painting no more. I am tired of running what has felt like for the longest time a grown person daycare is what it is. And I don't want to, say that to discredit all of my painters, because I did get to a point as of late where I had a majority of really good painters. But even still, there were plenty of days when I was just felt like babysitting, and I damn sure don't want to be doing that, man. Damn, I don't want to be doing that. So I don't know where the future takes me. Is it residential painting, which is obviously where the money's at, or commercial painting, which is obviously where the money's at? The problem with that is, how do you get a lot of steady work in that regard? And I'm going to have to figure that out. I've hit a crossroads in my life. And it's all of a sudden that I realize, and God, I hate the way that this is going to sound. I've hit this crossroads in my life where I just feel like, man, I fucking hate this painting business. Like, I hate it. And I don't know that necessarily this is what it's going to be. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see. Shady says, where's Gay Dave at? We miss him. I don't know. Last I heard, Dave got a good job. I did hear that. I would like to reconnect with him and Rabbit as well. Fuck, I'd give anything to reconnect with any of the old gang. Just one more time. What do you say? Who knows? Maybe I will get a chance to be able to get in contact with some folks. It would be good. I'll tell you one thing that I've noticed. And I'm even in this boat as well. It's almost like anybody who was ever a part of After Prison Show don't do social media at all. Dave is never active on Facebook or anything else. And so many others aren't either. And then I look at myself and I'm like, well, shit, I'm very rarely ever posting anything my damn self. I don't know if that's something to be like thought about. Clogan, what's going on? Which just says, hey man, I really hated you when I first saw your channel like 5 years ago. I've loved the growth over the years, man. Happy for your success. Well, I greatly appreciate the honesty right there. I know there's plenty of people who definitely hated me as well, and probably still do, actually. Ain't even no ifs, ands, and buts about that. Dominic, what's going on? What's your shout out to you for being up in here? Mr. West says you like drywalling. I definitely like drywalling. But that's another thing that just crossed my mind maybe Friday, maybe this morning. One of these days, hell, it could have been this morning. I was thinking about that. I was like, do you know we don't even get no drywall work no more? And it's not for the quality of drywall work that I was doing, because I was doing damn good drywall work. I can't even tell you the last time that I got a drywalling job. And it's all because of that pesky pricing. Damn, man. We was crushing it. I was doing all the drywall repairs at like 2 or 3 different properties. And slowly but surely, they started dwindling away. I did get a phone call last week, I think it was, for some drywall repairs, or maybe it was later in the week prior for some drywall repairs, and I was so happy to hear that. I was like, hell yeah. Damn right, I haven't had a drywall repair job in a minute. So then like a week goes by and I don't hear back from them. They were like, okay, well, we just got to wait for it to dry out, and we're going to call you for when it's time to come in and do it. I'm like, cool. It was a water leak. I'm like, all right, cool. Well, they don't call me back for like a week. They finally call me back, and they're like, hey, I got a couple of apartments I need you to paint. And I'm like, okay, yeah, no problem. We can get on there. I said, hey, but whatever happened with that drywall job? Oh, well, you know, we had our other maintenance guy do it because, you know, they're trying to keep costs down. And I'm like, son of a bitch. Angel says, good drywall work, with a bunch of laughy faces right there. You know, I can't even like feed into that, Angel. I'm sorry, I can't. It's the internet, for God's sakes. We live in a day and age where people will post a video of them painting a wall. Hell, I've done it for quite a bit of time. But you see it so much now. It's like my entire Facebook Reels and YouTube Shorts is like literally people just in a cut bucket, cut in a straight line. And I'm like, this is the world that we live in. Like, people just gonna post a video. You're not even doing anything like craft. Like, there's no real craftsmanship involved in it. There's no skill involved in this. You are literally filming a video of yourself cutting in a straight line on a wall and expecting and hoping to get views for that. But again, we live in a day and age now where not only people will post about that, they'll also understand that no matter what you do work-wise, somebody's going to come along and they're going to say something about the quality of work that you're doing. You could be a level 5 class A commercial contractor. Somebody's going to have something to say about that. Tom says, hey, Joe, I miss all the house flipping videos. Wish the interest rates would go back down. The interest rates are ridiculous right now. They're like, what, 8%? I just saw on the news tonight, though, that they said in my area, housing prices continue to skyrocket. Housing inventory is still low, which is causing those housing prices to be up. And, yeah, it's seeming like flipping is still a thing. Probably shouldn't have got out of it. I do have a buddy of mine who's flipping. And, oh, shit, what did I just hit? A buddy of mine, Rico, who's flipping houses. I'd like to do some videos with him and just see how he's doing with that. I met with him about a month or so ago. Probably longer than that, 2 months ago. I ran into him. I went and actually did a drywall job for him, ironically enough. Just a small little patch job. And I know he's flipping houses. I'd love to get with him, do some video work with him, and find out how it's going. Has he sold anything yet? That would be good. Dead Dog, what's going on? Which shout out to you. Oh, shit. Dave is up in here. Shout out to Dave, man. Hey, man, what's going on with you, man? A lot of people been asking about you. Hope you've been well. We need to have a conversation, man. Be good to talk with you. Tim, what's going on with you? Hey, Joe, I've been a fan since day one. I missed everything. Since day one, I see everything you do. Thanks for the years of amazing content. Well, I appreciate that. I'm hopeful to be able to come back with some more amazing content, especially in relation to getting back out here working with people again. Like I said, I got 2.5 interesting stories, and that's only within like less than a week. I've been able to drum those up. Yeah, I'm hopeful to just continue to bring you those stories. I'm inspired by like soft white underbelly and the likes of that. In the past, I would try to make these videos and these stories so well-rounded, and now it's like, if it's a little rough around the edges, it is what it is, right? Shout out to Dave up in here. Let me go ahead and share something with you as we get closer to wrapping this up. I appreciate everybody for taking the time to rock with this Bobo. It's good to be back on here. I want to go to this Facebook page. Pull this chat up real quick. I want to go to this Facebook page, which they've now renamed Prison Pen Pal Cheaters and Scammers Exposed. Actually, that's the same damn name. There was one page that they renamed. Oh, God. And I don't think it was that one. There we go. Bada bing, bada boom. When I'm struggling, and I'm not really struggling, Ford Firm says, keep the story simple. Train wrecks and puppies, all you need. There's actually, I appreciate you, Dave. Hit me up tomorrow, man, if you got some time, man. I'd love to chop it up with you. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. This Facebook page. I find a lot of good stuff on this Facebook page. So I want to go ahead and share with you real quick where I'm at. Oh, shit. That wasn't the right thing. It's right there. God bless it. It's so hard to... Folks, welcome to Prison Pen Pal Cheater Scammers Exposed. I cannot wait to get this video put together with this woman who is sharing the story about conning many men for nothing other than financial gain and getting so much damn money while doing so. I cannot wait to share that video in particular with this Facebook page, which is predominantly women on here worried to death about their boyfriend, husband, fiance, loved one who is incarcerated, and one, whether or not he's talking to other women, that is the number one concern of this Facebook page, or two, is he only using them for money? Folks, I want to share with you a post that comes to us from an anonymous member. All of these posts, for the most part, come from anonymous members. This one was from 6 hours ago. It said, my boyfriend told me he's getting a phone soon. I'm not happy about it. He's been getting in a lot of trouble lately. A few weeks ago, he was under investigation, and they were going to move him to a higher security prison because he was in a serious mess. He was so lucky that didn't happen, and instead of staying away from bad situations, he's planning on getting an illicit cell phone. I don't even know what the consequences are if he gets caught with the phone. He's in Ohio. Sometimes I wonder if he will ever stop getting in trouble because he doesn't have much time left until he gets out, and things don't look good. Folks, this woman is worried to death. Her man in prison for breaking the law, in prison currently, breaking the law, planning on acquiring for himself an illicit contraband cell phone. Who's going to pay for that phone? I wonder to myself, and I'm not saying that she will. Who knows? What happened to my... I don't know why I just went like that. Anyways, the comments are pretty good. Most of them are telling her to leave him. He's never going to change. If he's in prison thinking about getting a phone, he will never change his ways. Matter of fact, we got Jonette right here. She says, if he's already in trouble in prison and can't seem to stay out of trouble, do you really want that? Inquiring minds want to know. A phone in there cost at least $2,000, usually much more. God. Oh my God. Mulaney. I don't know if that's how you pronounce her name. Listen to what she's saying right here. She's saying a phone in there cost at least $2,000, usually much more. What poor soul told this woman, hey, did you send that? You know what I'm talking about. That $2,000 I need for that cellular device. Folks, I ain't never been in a prison. One where I ain't never ever in my life heard of a cell phone in prison ever costing $2,000. I hate to tell Mulaney right here, or Melanie, whatever her name is, she probably been done got. A phone in there costs at least $2,000, usually much more. I wonder what she's been told a television in there cost. Hey, can you send me that money for that 13-inch flat screen Clearview TV? Oh, you don't know how much it costs? Shit, inflation, tough in prison. That TV gonna cost 5 racks. $5,000. Dude rocking thinking about all this money Mulaney's getting ready to send to him. Let's continue her comment real quick. A phone in there costs at least $2,000, usually much more. You know, for $2,000, you could buy the entire wall set of the blue stress boxes right there on the wall. For $2,000, I imagine you could buy the entire. Oh shit, man! $2,000 is gonna get you a lot in prison. I would ask where all this money is coming from. Is it contraband? If it is contraband, and if he get caught, he would more than likely go to the SHU and lose communication privileges for a while. Mulaney, no. Mulaney certainly no. Jade sounds like she's been burned before. Some people are just an anchor around your neck, dragging you down with them. Folks, this entire Facebook page is nothing more than a lot of women who have been scorned, torn, heartbroken, and reborn again, finding hope in that of a prisoner. A man who is locked up, who at least, for the most part, cannot have access or the ability to be able to cheat on them and break their hearts even more. Folks, let's go with this guy right here. This was a recent post. How do I go to this post? I want to see the post. I don't want to just see the picture. I probably just scroll down, actually. It's probably as easy as that. Let's just, can we just scroll on down? Hey. Oh, God. Just take me to the page. There we go. There we go. They've also created an Instagram and a TikTok where they're going to start sharing stories. The women, I'm subscribing. I'm telling you right now, I am subscribing to this TikTok and this Instagram. I want to hear these stories. Most all of these posts are anonymous members. Anyone talking to him. We've got a nice young man right here wearing some kind of iced out bling right here. There he goes with the man bun. Anyone talking to him, folks, the comments are gold. Oh, my God, they didn't delete the comment, did they? All comments. Oh, they deleted them. Oh, they were bad, too. They were going in on this dude. I can't say what they were saying. I'd read it if it was still there, but it's not. One more before we get up out of here. Is it is true what they say? If you meet someone while in, it's most likely going to end up in a scam. I did this for a year and finally realized he's going to do whatever and go through whoever he needs to get money or drugs. That's just how it is. So when you see them red flags and your gut is screaming, please trust it. Sucks. I genuinely loved him and cared for him. But his true colors are definitely on its peak. Ask away if you want to know how to tell or vent. Gosh almighty, boy. I'm just going to post up in this thing. I'm going to camp in this Facebook group. And, you know, I was thinking about getting back to doing random stranger visits. This would be just as good right here. Getting these scorn women to share their experience. And when I put the video together of the woman sharing about the multiple pen pals that she had, I will I'm going to post it in that Facebook group and see if there's anybody else who wants to share. Yeah, man, that's what I'm going to do. Doug says ramen noodles went up in prison. I can only imagine. Clogan says, crazy how many people you gave a plate out to and helped feed. Sadly, they decided that means they deserve a spot at your table. FYI, Dave should come back. Y'all were special together. Dave's solo stuff didn't do it for me. It's a tough thing to be able to do. But let me tell you something. That little podcast that him and I were doing, that shit was golden. It really was. And who knows? Maybe we can revisit that. That would be something to definitely be able to definitely consider for sure. Bill says, please, no random stranger. That's creepy, Joe. I don't even necessarily know that I'd be able to do it. But it was golden. It really was. Folks, there's going to be some content coming here to After Prison Show in the very near future. It could be as soon as tomorrow or within the next couple of days. If you think the random stranger visits were crazy, you ain't seen nothing yet. You should see these prison roleplay ASMR videos I've put together. They're the worst. And I'm really trying not to go with them. I've done a lot of soul searching as of late. I've really enjoyed getting back to this Bobo. It's this Bobo that is kind of bringing life back into all of this. We had Dave up in here. Banky stopped through here the other day. I'm able to kick the Bobo with all of you, spitball ideas, share with you what is ongoing currently, and let you know that I want to get back to creating awesome content. I had a lot of fun creating good content. And I'm not going to say everything that I'm going to create is going to be good, but damn it, I'm going to give it my all. And I'm looking forward to sharing with you what I've already begun working on, and so much more. The Bobo will continue. What will the next installment be? Where will the painting business go from here? Will it rebound? Will it continue to go downward? Is it is it spiraling out of control at this point? Only time will tell. And maybe I'll be able to tell you a little more on the next installment of The Bobo. Folks, I want to thank you for taking the time to rock with me on this thing. It's been a good spitballing session with all of you. Thank you for allowing me to share the things that I have. Thank you for being a part of my life and continuing to rock with me. And I want to leave you with one final thing. I read a comment. It said, it is probably a hell of a lot harder. Actually, it was on Last Bobo is where it came from. Something along the lines of, it's probably going to be a hell of a lot harder to try to rebuild a channel than to build a channel, I think is how that comment went. I don't necessarily believe that, but I don't think that it would be easy trying to rebuild After Prison Show if it's rebuildable at all. But we're here still. So damn it, why don't we continue to give it a try? Hey, that's all I got for this evening. I want to thank each and every one of y'all, and I'll look forward to bringing you guys so much more just as soon as I possibly can. There are videos on the way and more Bobo as well. You guys have a great one. Please leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed this. And as always, until next time, enjoy life, the free world. Never take a moment for granted and make the most of every day. Peace.